Thank you all for coming here today. Wow, what an amazing turnout. I am truly honored and humbled to be here today. I am here before you today to announce my intention to obtain the Libertarian nomination for President of the United States of America. Every one of you here today has a unique point of view on our country depending on where we are from or what we have done in our lives. For me, it has been as a boy growing up in Anaheim, California. As a young man working on construction sites with people from all walks of life. Then later, going on to college in Tempe, Arizona, and attending Arizona State University, Forks Up. And trying to find work in a new city, not knowing a soul. Although I may be younger than most of my opponents, I have experienced a lot in my lifetime so far. I have met so many wonderful people and seen so many amazing things along the way. I also watched some of the hardest times this country has ever seen when the Great Recession hit and left so many Americans homeless or jobless. It was a tough time for my father, who was struggling to keep his men working because they too had families that needed to eat. Although we did see great cities hurt during that time, we saw those same cities rise up and become better than before. That, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is why America is so special. Because when everything seems to be going down in flames, there are individuals who will not give up on this great country. And when there are so many of those individuals, as there are in America, we are able to bond together and rise up against all odds. America to me is one massive fiery spirit that will never give up. You are here today because you believe in that spirit and want to keep it alive. You are here today because you believe in the values that our founding fathers placed such an heirloom around that they may be passed down to ages yet unborn. Ladies and gentlemen, you are here today because we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. That is why you are here. We will continue to create a more perfect union, because we all know that as the times change, so must the union. We must continue to strive for that perfection that our founding fathers wanted us to find. We will continue to establish justice. We cannot clean up our streets with a crooked system where racial injustice takes place. Everyone must be held accountable. That includes police officers and ourselves, our civilian population. No child should ever be scared to go get his or her education. We will ensure domestic tranquility in our communities. No mother should have to worry about sending their child to school because she fears that child may become a victim of a shooting. We will provide for the common defense of our nation. Our enemies abroad will not instill terror any longer. Our military will be strong again as we always have been. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, our enemies will not want any part of us if I am elected president. We will promote the general welfare of our nation by ensuring that no man, woman, or child that cannot help themselves will feel like they are alone in this country. To make this happen, we must work on coming together because at the end of the day, we will want the same thing. We all want to come home at the end of the day and enjoy a night with the people who we care about. The words of the preamble that our founding fathers wrote all those years ago still hold the same truths today. We can still apply these principles to the problems we face in today's world because they are universal truths that all humans strive for. Even in today's divisive world where the mainstream media wants us to be separated, we know that they will not succeed. No matter how much it may seem on the news that we are all different, just remember what we have been through together. As a country, we have faced problems that no other generation has ever seen before. We have seen wars where our enemy did not have a definitive face and saw no end, but we were able to defeat them. We have seen an economic downturn that nearly took out our auto industry and people lost everything. But now our economy is stronger than ever. We will always share these common experiences, and that makes us one. The media will try to divide us and make you think that people who have different views than you are the enemy. But we are all Americans and always will be. The rhetoric in America today is that the American dream is dead for our children and that they will not live as prosperous lives as ours have been. We are supposed to teach our children that they will not be able to make their dreams come true because of the failures from past generations. I, for one, will not accept this, because we will change the talk in this country if I am elected your president. In 1971, Ronald Reagan said to Americans, "There are those in our land today, however, who would have us believe that the United States, like other great civilizations of the past, has reached the zenith of its power, that we are weak and fearful, reduced to bickering with each other, and no longer possessed of the will to cope with our problems." Even 40 years ago, we thought that our problems were too big for America to handle, but we were able to persevere through them because of our relentless spirit. Now, to those of you that are hurting out there, we have to be honest with ourselves. Jobs are hard to come by in certain cities, and incomes are not rising at the same rate as inflation. Wages are not getting any higher, but taxes and tuition bills are pulling our young people down before they can even get off the ground. Right now, at this crucial point in the history of America, we possess a unique opportunity to change this story, not only for ourselves, but for generations yet unborn. The founders of this country created a government that could be changed because they knew if this country was going to last, then it had to be able to change with the times. No matter what our country has faced, we were able to come out and change this country for the better. When Americans were under the rule of tyranny, patriots left their farms and families to fight against the greatest empire in the world and succeeded. When we were divided as a country, we were able to unite and change our laws so that all men would be created equal. During the Great Depression, we were able to create new jobs and bring millions out of poverty. We will continue to take on any challenge the world can throw at us because we have succeeded before. Today we are called once more, and it is time for our generation to answer that call. Today we face a new front for warfare on the internet that is capable of doing major damage. But we have some of the greatest minds that can defend our country every day, 24 hours a day. Our children should not have to fear going to school because they think they might get attacked. We will make it mandatory that security guards will stay armed in order to keep our children safe at school. Along with that, we will spend federal funding on mental health research and raise awareness to help those who think they need to harm themselves or others. We will get to the bottom of this opioid crisis with research and helping those with mental health disorders instead of letting them turn to drugs. We as a country and as people must commit ourselves to help those among us who cannot take care of themselves. Our federal government has failed these people by spending money in areas that do not help. We will change the way we approach this problem by finding real solutions through scientific research instead of punishing people who suffer from addiction. We will choose to help them and raise them up instead of keeping them down. Ladies and gentlemen, these problems are ones we have never faced before and can only be solved if we approach them with a new style of thinking. If you feel the same way that I do on these issues, and I know that the majority of Americans do, then go out and do your part for America. Go out and express your right to vote. I am asking you to stand with me. I am asking you to stand with freedom. I am asking you to vote for liberty and justice for all. We are headed for a great time in history of America, and history books will remember this time as our finest hour. Thank you, and may God bless America.